We're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
That's what he said at his rally in Ohio, warning about the auto industry, economic turmoil, a bloodbath, unless he can fix it as the next president. But the leftist media took his words and spun them into a threat and to a narrative that obviously a lot of folks realized, and there was an uproar on Twitter about how much his comments were taken out of context. Let's bring in Newsmax senior judicial analyst. We are so pleased to have Judge Andrew Napolitano with us today on Newsline. Judge, welcome in.
Thank you, Bianca. Nice to be with you, my dear friend.
It is great to have you. As someone who has spent a career, looking at the law, looking at justice, clearly there is something that the Democrats are so worried about that they have to stoop to these levels. Even Biden's campaign communications director said on Sunday that former President Trump's bloodbath comment was an endorsement of political violence. It seems like they're being outed a little bit now with the reality that people are not buying this narrative anymore, Judge. But it's causing, obviously, a lot more pain than needs to be as Americans are just trying to put food on the table.
Look, in a court of law, Bianca, you would not be able to isolate one word from a series of paragraphs and accuse the speaker of using a word intended to undermine the system. You have to take the word in context. If someone had said to me, "Oh, Trump says it's going to be a bloodbath if he loses," the first thing I would say is, "Well, in what relationship did he say it?" Donald Trump is expert at getting his message across, sometimes using hyperbole, as he did here. And of course, when you take the time to listen to the words before, the words of, and the words after, you know that he was talking about an economic bloodbath, a situation in which automobiles from China would be flooding the market here, and people in the Rust Belt, I believe he was speaking in Ohio when he said this, would be put out of work. And calling that an economic bloodbath, while it's a little bit hyperbolic, is a valid and legitimate criticism of bad times to come, which he predicts will happen if he doesn't get elected. So, shame on them for taking one word out of 3 paragraphs and twisting its use.
Yeah, and I think that they're just running scared because obviously what we're also seeing, in addition to these types of stories and pundits doing that, shame on them indeed, but the lawfare, there was a filing today from Trump's team saying, he's having some trouble coming up with this huge bond, Judge Napolitano. I mean, it's hard to be liquid for $400 million. Any billionaire could even tell you that. It's mostly on paper. But when we talk about lawfare, and we do quite frequently, this seems like now that it's economic lawfare. Why wouldn't Judge Enron, since he's appealing this, allow him waiting to post bond? But they don't want to. Can you tell our viewers why you think?
All right, so this is not the Judge Enron case, Bianca. This is the federal case, the decision against him because of the alleged defamation. Excuse me. This is Enron. I beg your pardon. The other one was
okay. Thank you. I was like, but there's so many.
Yeah,
but
no,
yes,
I'm wrong, and you're right, and I acknowledge it.
It's all good, my friend.
The $91 million bond that he posted was for both
Carroll.
The $85 million judgment and the $5 million judgment against him in federal court by E. Jean Carroll. He now needs $450 million to stop the state from seizing his property. This is the Justice Enron case. I got to tell you, most judges would give him a little bit more time, or would say, A, look at what he owns. B, he can't sell or mortgage what he owns, Bianca, because the Trump Organization, the holding company for all of his assets, is being monitored by a retired federal judge, Barbara Jones, a well-respected person in this field, and only she can authorize the devaluation of these assets.